Hello, welcome to a new video from the Digital SAT course with me, Mr. Gamal. In this video, we're going to answer question number 13 from the College Board Official Test 10. The question is 10 here. Which choice best describes Gibson's approach to art as presented in the text? Cherokee artist Jeffrey Gibson turns punching bags used by boxers into art by decorating them with beadwork and elements of native dressmaking. By the way, the very first sentence here can be enough for us to get to know his approach to art, because he comes up with art by, or he makes art from punching bags by decorating them with some native art, which is the dressmaking. Anyway, we're going to read further so we can get to know more about his approach. So these elements include leather fringe and jingles, the metal cones that cover the dresses worn in the jingle dance, a woman's dance of those people. Okay, thus is a very important clue word, because, or a very important transition, because it tells us that what comes after it follows logically to what was presented before it. So thus Gibson combines an object commonly associated with masculinity, which is a punching bag, with art forms traditionally practiced by women in most native communities, beadwork and dressmaking. In this way, he rejects the division of male and female gender roles. By the way, so we can just come up with a prediction here, which is that Gibson can create his new art by using some elements of the native art available in this specific society, which is elements of dressmaking and beadwork, to create his own art. Okay, and this is his own approach to art. Anyway, having this in my mind, we can just go through the other answer choices. So A here says he draws from traditional native art forms to create his original works. For sure, this is the correct answer because it matches our prediction. He draws from traditional native art forms like the beadwork and the dressmaking to create his original works, which is having a decorated punching bag in some elements of the native art available in the society. Anyway, we're going to go through the other answer choices. So B says he has been influenced by native and non-native artists equally. For sure, this is not correct because there was no mention of any other artists, whether to be native or non-native, in the text as a whole. C, he finds inspiration from boxing in designing his dresses, the dresses he makes. For sure, the text does not say that he was influenced by, or he got inspiration from boxing at all, but he used this object, which is the punching bag, and there is nothing in the text that can tell us that he makes dresses, but he just took some elements of dressmaking to create his own art. For sure, C is not correct. Okay, and finally D, he rejects expectations about color and pattern when incorporating beadwork. For sure, he did not talk about how to incorporate beadwork at all, and there was no mention of the expectations about color or pattern, and this can tell us that D is not the correct answer. And by the way, I want to tell you something here from this part. By the way, here the second sentence, okay, seems to be complicated. These elements include leather fringe and jingles, the metal. So here we can say that this appositive phrase tells us what is meant by the fringe and jingle. Okay, and here in the very end of this appositive phrase we have a jingle dance, and here we have another appositive phrase that can tell us what is meant by this jingle dance, which is a woman's dance. Okay, so all of these extra information, these supplements, are meant to make the text a little bit complicated, just as a trap for you. So don't fall into the trap. The second sentence is not very important for you to get to know the correct answer, and as I said before, you can, if you're running out of time, you can get to know the correct answer from reading only the first sentence, because it tells you everything, that this artist comes up with a new art by using some elements of native art available in this very specific society. That's all, and thank you for listening to me. See you soon in a new video.